Hi, hello, yes, this tower is completely stable. I'm just asking for this to fall over, aren't I? Hello there and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute and a half, I am fully aware. So basically what happened is I started filming some more like lifestyle type videos and then got an interview for a job and then ran away home, which is 8 hours away from where I live now, and then started working. And that's literally the long and short of why I haven't been on here. So if you stuck around, even though I haven't been posting videos, hi, thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Let's get into my content instead of reasons why I haven't been posting on YouTube, because those could go on forever. As you can see, I've got a bunch of books in my lap. I've got a very secure tower right here. Totally not scared of it at all. Actually, that's why these books are in my lap, is because they were the top of the pile, and they're my prettiest slash most expensive slash most treasured books, and I was just not willing to see them crumble and die. So, the content of today's video is me actually going through series that I want to finish. Now, ideally, these would be series that I would finish in 2020, but there are some of these books that I just know that's not going to happen with, and I'm being completely realistic, or at least I'm trying to be completely realistic with myself. So I guess I'll just get into it. I really don't remember how to do booktube videos, so hi, welcome, it's Awkward Janine, as if there's any other type of Janine. But, yeah, let's go. Okay, so, series that I want to finish. The first one, which is my most treasured book, which I love, love, love so much, and I'm actually listening to on audio right now, is Volume 2 in The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. It's called The Secret Commonwealth, and this edition is absolutely gorgeous, hence why I am listening to it on audiobook. First, I just really like audio, but second is I don't want to damage this edition in any way. It is a special Waterstones edition that I tracked down in December/January when I went to the UK for Christmas to see my in-laws. And by me, I mean my husband. And by my husband, I mean he called several Waterstones in the UK just to find 2 editions of this book, one for me and one for my best friend, because Philip Pullman is who we bonded over. And this is a signed edition. There are a limited number, and my precious. So that's, this is book 2, as I said, in the series. There is a third one coming. It's going to be a trilogy. So while I'll definitely finish this one in, 2020, I can't finish the third one because it's not published yet. I don't even know if it's written yet. The next series that I want to finish in 2020, and this one I think is probably doable for me, are these ones. And I know you can't tell what they are, but they are the Inkheart trilogy by Cornelia Funke. So for those of you who don't know, this series was actually originally written in German and was translated into English. And if you have the thirst, like I do, Brendan Fraser played the dad in the video in 2008, I think it was. And so I have his voice in my head narrating this book, and it is a delight. Fun fact, he did narrate the second book, which is called Inkspell, but someone else narrated the first one. He narrated the second one, and then a different narrator narrated the third book, which is Ink Death. And if I'm being honest, I don't actually know. I know I've read these two, the first 2 books, Inkheart and Inkspell, because we had a group in high school who would find books that we love, and then we would just trade them between the 4 of us. and I know this was one of them. It was my friend Kelly whose books they were, and I don't remember if this book was out yet, if Ink Death was out, or if I had finished it, or what. I definitely don't remember anything if I did read it, so it will be like I'm reading it for the first time all over again. So the Inkspell trilogy will be the next series that I'm hoping to finish, and actually to finish in 2020. So the next series that I want to finish, I don't actually have a physical copy on me, and it's the Sky and the Deep duology. So I actually read Sky and the Deep not that long ago. I really quite enjoyed it, and there's a second book called The Girl the Sea Gave Back. So I have that out on loan on ebook from my library, and I'm hoping to finish it soon. I don't know if I renewed it or not, or if it went back. It's gonna be hard to finish it if I don't have it. But really the reason I want to finish it is because I'm really looking forward to reading Fable, which I don't know if I've ever talked about it on my channel, but I love covers that have redheads on them because I'm apparently really vain. Apparently. And so I really want to read that, but I want to make sure that I actually like the author's writing first. I was trying to speed through the 2 books in order to read them prior to the book coming out in the beginning of September, but it's like the end of September now, and I did not do that. So I want to finish that series so I can start the next one. The next series that I want to read, it's another trilogy, is another reread. I read these, well, I know I read one of them in about 2016. I may have waited for the others to come out. I don't remember. But that's going to be the Queen of the Tearling series by Erica Johansson. I have already finished the first book, and I'm actually working on a review for Goodreads / my blog, which I never do usually, but I bought a guided journal just so I could do it. But we have the first book that is the Queen of the Tearling, the second book which is the Invasion of the Tearling, and the third book which is the Fate of the Tearling. So these 3 books, I'm currently on the second one, so I have basically 2 more books to go. Yeah, I basically am going through them because they've been sitting on my shelves for a while, and I'm like, are these still good? Have they aged well? Do I still feel the same way? Because if not, I am going to gift them to a friend for Christmas. So we will see how that goes. The next series that I want to finish is the Sally Lockhart series by Philip Pullman. I literally only have 1 book left, and I'm pretty sure the reason I'm not reading it is because I refuse to let go. I don't have issues or anything. So that book is called The Tin Princess. Sally Lockhart is actually not the main character in the series. It is going to be someone else. And I'm really excited to see how this kind of ties up. Like I said, I'm going to be really sad that it's over, but can we just like take a minute to appreciate how gorgeous this cover is? It's amazing. I totally bought them when I was in the UK specifically for these covers. That was back when I still bought books. Okay, next up, another trilogy. I swear I like more than just trilogies. It's just really hard to tell right now, apparently. Okay, so this next trilogy is probably familiar to a lot of people. It is the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I have actually read the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, and I do remember really liking it, but again, it's been so long that I don't fully remember everything. So better reread the first book in order to then go on to A Gathering of Shadows, and the third book, which is A Conjuring of Light. I really feel like I didn't plan ahead well for this video, and I should have got a 3rd or 4th arm. Anyway, yeah, I remember liking this so far. I really like Lila Bard, and I'm pretty sure she features more in the other 2 books, so I want to re-fall in love with her and see where her badassery takes her in the next 2 books. The next book or series that I want to finish is kind of, well, it's not kind of, it's not really a series yet because I think the second book is actually in the works as we speak, or maybe it's going to be a trilogy, I don't remember. But this has been out for a while. It is The King of Scars. I remember there being a ton of mixed reviews when this book came out, and so I'm interested to see how I will feel now that a time has passed, and if I feel as strongly as the people who liked it or didn't like it feel as well. Okay, the next series that I have to finish is called The Diviners by Libba Bray. I have read the first book. I remember really liking it. I listened to it on audiobook because when I find I'm falling behind on books, I try and find the audiobook version from my library so that I can listen along while I read or listen while I'm doing other things. Diviners, if I remember correctly, was one that I was listening to a year ago when I was packing up for our move. So I have the second book, and boy, she thick, but I just haven't started it yet. And apparently there are more books in this series. I think there's 4 in total. And so I don't have number 3 or number 4, but they all look pretty, so I'm gonna get them. I might trade this one in for a paperback if I can, because I love paperbacks. But yeah, that's a series that I loved the first book, but I did not carry forward with reading, so I need to get on that. So next, I believe, is a duology, and it is by an author who is one of my best friend's favorite authors. Coincidentally, also one of my coworkers really likes this author, so I feel like I should be reading more of her work. And I haven't really read a lot, but I will try to read more. So the book is called Trickster's Choice, and I'm pretty sure I already read this book, because I'm pretty sure I listened to it on audiobook, but I don't remember. And there's 2 of them. So there's Trickster's Choice and Trickster's Queen. And so I want to reread the first one, which is this one, read the second one, and then probably evaluate where I want to go from there with the series. Because I have really enjoyed, I do remember enjoying this. I don't remember like loving it, but I remember enjoying it. And I do remember loving, actually, the other book that I read by Tamora Pierce, which was Tempest and Slaughter, I think. And they're all set in the same world. It's all related, but I don't know what order they go in or what all the books are even. So I just added like 70 books to my TBR just then, didn't I? I bet. I bet that's exactly what happened. That is something I would do. I am regretting my life choices. Alright, so the next book, again, not necessarily part of a series, but it's set in the same world as a series of books, and it is A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin. I have already read all of the Song of Fire and Ice books that are out in, like, the 5 books that he has released. I know that there's this one, and there's another companion novel as well, which I don't even have yet, but I definitely do want to read them. I feel like this probably won't be one that I finish this year, just because I feel like there are other books I like more in this pile. So we'll see. Alright, the next series that I want to look at finishing is the Practical Magic series by Alice Hoffman. I have the Rules of Magic. This was 100% a cover buy because I thought it looked good. It was pretty. I like the color yellow. I did not like the first book in the series, and so I think part of me is putting this off because I don't think I'm going to enjoy this one either, but I should just read it and see, is the honest truth of it, because one of my next videos is going to be going through my unread shelf, and it's kind of embarrassing how big it is, and so if I could read some of these before I film that, that would be great. Yeah, it'd be really great. A lot of these are from my unread shelf as well, so, like, here's to trying, I guess. The next series that I want to work towards finishing is actually Stephen Fry's Great Mythology. So, you might be familiar with Mythos, which is kind of the retelling of the origins of Mount Olympus and like the Greek, Roman, Greek, I don't know. I'm confused. I've confused myself. Anyway, Mythos came out, and it kind of tells the origin story and kind of the stories that a lot of people know about the backgrounds for, I'm gonna go with Greek, and I'm sure I'm 100% wrong, gods and goddesses. So he also came out with a second book, which is called Heroes, and my father-in-law actually bought this for Christmas for me, not last year, but the year before, because he knew how much I liked Mythos. I have not read it yet. I'm sorry, father-in-law. Please still love me. So there's also a third one coming out. I don't remember what it's called. I did do some research for this video, but it's actually coming out in October of 2020. And as of filming this, we are 2 days away from October. 3 days. 3 days. Anyway, this is not a promo, but look out for Stephen Fry's new book in 3 days, aka after I finished filming this video, and I'm going to start closed captioning. Yay! The next series I want to finish is a duology, and it is the Shadow Song series, Winter Song series, I don't know. I've read Winter Song, which is the first novel. It's by S.J. Jones, and apparently Shadow Song is the only one that's left. It's a duology, so I should just finish it. I'll have to get it out from the library because, well, I don't know if I've ever told you guys, like, I don't really buy books until after I've read them to make sure that I'm curating a library that reflects, like, the books I actually like and have read. But yeah, so I'll have to see if it's available, and bonus if it's available on audiobook, because that's my jam. Okay, I've got 2 series left, and then I'll tell you the total of books in series that I have to read. Okay, so next was Everless. I remember enjoying this series. It's by Sarah Holland. I remember enjoying this book. I thought it had an interesting premise. I will probably have to reread this book because as much as I do remember, there's also a lot that I don't remember. So, Everless was the first one. I don't even know what the second one's called. But I know it's also got a pretty cover because I've seen it in bookstores. And I do want to know how it ends. I think it's, I don't always like leaving series open-ended. But I will also admit that I am currently reading about 14 books, which is just like how I stress response. I start a bunch of books and then don't finish them. Sorry to anyone who's in my book club or does buddy reads with me. I am the worst. Okay, last but not least is the Cassidy Blake series. So her first book was City of Ghosts. Gorgeous cover. I love it so much. There is a second book out that I know... Ooh. Please don't fall. There is a second book that I know is already out, and I believe it's set in Paris. And I think there is a third book that is set to come out in March of 2021. But basically the second one will determine if I even go on to read the third one or not. It's usually how I play ball. JK, I don't play ball with books because that would be dumb. Yeah, can you guys tell I haven't done these in a while? I am rusty as heck. So here's my monstrous tower. Sorry, kitty. I'm fine. Okay, so this is the monstrous tower of books that I have to read, which are comprised of series that I want to finish. I'm sorry. I just can't take the chance of ruining my baby. So all in, with all of the series, including rereading and all of that good stuff, there are 25 books. that I have to read. Well, I don't have to read, I'm imposing it on myself, but there are 25 books over 15 series. So, it's just under 2 books per series, which really isn't that bad, I don't think. Yeah, wow. Okay, I really haven't done BookTube in a while. And some awesome people that I know and love have started BookTube in this time. I don't know if you know Cole, but she is on here, as well as Jess. I will tag both of their accounts, because I think Jess is As Said by Jess, but I can't remember, and I don't know what Cole's is, but I love them both dearly. I met them on Bookstagram. I think they are wonderful people. If you haven't heard of them yet, please go over and give their account some of your precious, precious time, because I think they have things that are really worth saying. Yeah, I don't know how consistent I'm going to be, excuse me, in the future with videos. It's kind of up in the air because my job is really all-encompassing and I love it, and I'm tired a lot because I'm learning a lot and working a lot, and we're in the middle of the coronavirus, so working from home is like the worst thing ever for me because I don't shut off. But I'm trying to get better at it, and I think one of the ways that I can do that is hopefully by being on here a little bit more. I don't have a lot of ideas for content right now, so I'm kind of struggling with that, but I'm hoping to gain some inspiration from watching as many BookTube videos as I can in what little free time I have when I'm not reading books. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'll find a way. Yeah, so have you read any of these series? Please don't give any spoilers away. I have a really good memory for forgetting books, which sounds really dumb, but is very true. And so some of these series, it will be like reading them for the first time again when they're rereads, but also just I'm really looking forward to wrapping up some of the open ends, I guess, that I have floating around. So I'd love to hear which ones you loved, which ones you didn't, just general thoughts on the books that I am endeavoring to read in the next little while. Thank you guys for sitting through this video. I am sick of myself talking now, but I really just hope that you're doing well and that you are taking care of yourself during this time, and that you know you don't have to be super productive and that you can just be. This pandemic has hit everyone hard, and even though we're like, I think it's 6 months in, almost 7 months in now, it doesn't mean it gets any easier. Our world is constantly changing, and that's exhausting, and we are constantly, like, our minds are constantly perceiving threats, right? Because we can't necessarily see exactly what's going on. So just remember that wherever you're at, it's okay, and please don't ever feel like you're a burden. There are people who love you and who want you to succeed, and so just stay in contact. Reach out to people. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and know that your mental health and your emotional health just as important as your physical health during this time. So do what you can to fill this up, and just remember to be kind to yourself. So thanks for sticking around. I'd say welcome back, but like I'm annoyed at myself at being gone so long, and just know that I hope to talk to you again real soon. Bye.